What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Genshin Impact version 5.7 special program, A Space and Time for You. I am so fucking excited for this. Ever since we first learned about Skirk's existence, back when Child came out in his voice lines, I have desperately wanted Skirk to come out, and we are essentially here. And then on top of that, we have Dane Quest, it seems like. All of this is just lining up for this to be a really big version, and I'm just eager to get into it, so feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and let's get into this. Oh, not English, okay. But Doomsday. Huh. Outsiders. Birth of a Savior? What is happening? Oh. Okay. Alright, so the Loom of Fate's working, I guess. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of heralds. The spaceship? I guess. Oh, I guess we would have. What? Okay. 42 of them. Oh. Her voice, her existence. Who is her? Our soul is damaged? Yo! Yeah, Skirk! Yo, she dual wields? Oh my god! Yo! I fucking... Yeah. Oh, I love those animations. Hi, Dahlia. Good to see you, Dahlia. I'm still fucking recovering from Skirk's animations. Ooh, I like the little hop in their step. I honestly have no fucking clue what kind of character Dahlia is supposed to be. I have no idea what their kid is. Yo! Oh? Also, is she like using a guitar or something? Yeah, Sertology. What about him? He's back! Really? You think? Oh. Oh, wow, okay. Oh? The narwhal's back in some form? Rewriting fate? The real universe? What the fuck is gonna happen? What the Is time travel gonna happen? Is time travel going to happen? Or is it just gonna rewrite history so that time stopped, then we go back to... I need to know more.
Hello, travelers. Welcome to the Genshin Impact version 5.7 special program.
All right.
I am Aileen Mythen, the voice of Dahlia, and hosting with me today we have...
Hey everyone, I'm Kat Pratano, rhymes with Kat Pratano, the voice of Child's Master.
Oh my god.
Skirk.
And I'm Katiana Sarkissian, the voice of the Pyro Archon herself, Malwika.
Yeah, well,
alright, okay.
after seeing that trailer, this version seems absolutely stacked. We're getting the next installment of the Twins quest in this version.
Yes.
Yippee!
And Skirk and Dane are
in. Skirk is finally here, you guys. Y'all.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see how all these stories unfold.
Her first appearance left quite the impression, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that interaction left us all with far more questions than answers.
I'd say so.
She did give us a few clues about herself, though. Remember? In the Primordial Sea at the end of the Fontaine Archon quest?
Right. Something about the remains of a descender.
Yep.
The foul, the visionary.
So much
I feel like
lore.
I still don't know what any of it means, though.
I mean, that's fair. So far, all we know about her past is that she trained under the foul Certology.
I hope we find out more about that.
Certology isn't just some ordinary mentor.
Did they update her model in that to be her new model?
Certology is one of the 5 sinners of Conria, and someone
Well, no, actually, I think that's what she looked like before. I'm forgetting. I know there's some changes to her model.
Walk in the park, let me tell you.
Well,
God, I love the galaxy
how
legs.
aloof and indifferent Skirk seems to be. Seriously, though, her demeanor is stone cold in a way that's almost otherworldly or something.
Yeah, it's kind of cold as ice, right?
God damn it.
But I mean, you know, the important thing is, this time we should be able to get some answers, right?
I would hope so.
I hope so, yes, please.
Yo, we
I
actually
am
get a
dying
story
to learn more
quest.
about her past.
Okay, then be
Hell
sure to
yeah.
check out her story quest where the Traveler and Skirk's paths will cross once again. Travelers will have the chance to uncover new clues about her past and the world of Tavad as a whole, so don't miss out.
Yo! I'm so fucking excited for that.
It's where we run into Skirk.
Really? Okay.
It's kind of weird seeing her out and about like this, isn't it? In such a
Yes.
normal location.
Okay, yes, that was her old design. Now it's her new one. Okay.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Is Skirk playing an instrument?
That's an interesting
I mean, in
detail.
my mind, she's like this, you know, ice
Oh, are we going to the
queen, but
chasm, maybe?
Here she actually looks emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost a sadness there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It seems like that instrument means a lot to her.
Oh, you don't even know. It sure does. As for why
What's that
she
we
chooses
have
to play it
on?
alone in a place
It looks like the thing she
this,
has.
well, that's something travelers can uncover for themselves.
Of course.
What I can reveal is, after encountering a mysterious power in this quest, the traveler starts having strange nightmares.
Oh, boy.
And it seems like Skirk is the only one who can help.
Okay.
Which means the only way to
Yo,
resolve
are we
the
gonna get some
situation
training?
is for the two to work together.
Okay, Slay. So we're teaming up with Skirk, huh?
Mhm.
Okay, but like, am I the only one who's a little intimidated?
What? Intimidated
I think that's
by
fair. I think that's fair.
Skirk? She's only a mysterious sword master with insane fighting skills and an unbreakable stone-cold exterior.
From the abyss, no less.
Seriously though, with their ability to wield various elements and their abyssal purification powers, I think the Traveler can hold their own.
Yeah, it'll be fine. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, now I'm curious how she got that strong.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, she reined in her master's pet, the all-devouring narwhal, like it was nothing.
Something that
And
took
I
the
feel like we've
power
only seen a fraction
of
of what she can do.
a
True, and
fucking
just like the
dragon
truth about her
sovereign
past,
and
that's a
us
question
to do.
Travelers will need to answer for themselves in game, so get ready to play. But considering Skirk and the Traveler will need to fight side by side,
Yeah.
let's take a closer look at what she can do in combat.
Not surprising. I can't wait to get the details here. I intentionally avoided leaks, no matter how much I wanted to look at them. Ooh, this is an interesting area.
I'll only demonstrate this once.
Okay, God. Okay, she has the, like, dual-wield into double-bladed style. That is fucking cool. God, the way she flows is so nice. Oh.
Another frog goes out.
Very... Is this just the theme from,
As Child's
the
master
one
and
phase of the
someone
Narwhal
capable
fight?
of training in the abyss, Skirk's combat skills are truly something special.
Yeah, yeah.
First, it's worth pointing out, Skirk
Yep.
doesn't use a vision. Her powers come from the abyss.
Correct.
But in the interest of blending in, she camouflages it to appear cryo-like in nature.
Ah.
And in addition, Skirk's attacks do
Okay.
not rely on elemental energy.
Okay,
She
yeah.
uses
So
a special
I
kind
knew
of
that she didn't
energy
use
known
elemental
as
energy,
serpent
but
subtlety instead.
so the only reason she's
And when
cryo
you
is
tap
because she
her
intentionally
elemental skill,
disguises it
Skirk
that way.
gains a certain amount of energy and enters a special combat state.
Yeah, okay.
Signaled by her change in outfit.
God,
which
I
is
love how it
very
looks.
Cute, might I add.
Literally just
While
cutting
in this
through
state,
reality.
Skirk's normal, charged, and plunging attacks deal
Yo,
cryo
she can do
damage
plunging
that
attacks in her
can't
special
be
mode.
overridden. This state also
Child could
increases
never.
her resistance to interruption and attack AoE.
Nice.
And when cryo-related reactions are triggered, multiple void rifts will appear on the field.
Okay, yeah. So
Skirk
what
can
do the
use
void
her
rifts
charged
do?
attack or her special elemental burst to absorb the void rifts.
Ah.
And after unleashing a special elemental burst, her normal attack's damage will be increased based on the number of rifts
Okay.
absorbed.
Aw, heck yeah. So it's kind of like the more she fights, the stronger she gets.
Yeah,
Crazy.
pretty much. Plus, holding her elemental skill is
Oh.
another option. When there are void rifts on the field, holding her elemental skill will allow Skirk to absorb them and gives her the ability to quickly
Okay.
maneuver around the battlefield.
High
Once she
mobility
has enough
mode.
energy, she can unleash her elemental burst to
God,
deal
I love how her
consecutive
ult
slashes
looks.
of AoE damage.
I
Okay.
see. So she's a unit you can keep on the field for a long time, or take out when you need a sudden burst of damage.
I suppose.
Pairing her with Hydro and Cryo characters also further enhances her abilities.
Not surprising.
And if your team is comprised entirely of Hydro and Cryo characters, your party member's elemental skill level will be increased by 1.
Yo!
So she like enhances her party members'
Another
skills,
character
too.
that does the child
Once
style
a mentor,
buff?
always a mentor, I guess.
yeah.
Huh.
It sounds
It's
like
just more
Tartaglia
limited.
had a great teacher.
Oh, he sure did.
Huh.
And I love the look of her camouflaged abyssal powers.
Right.
The special effects are incredible.
Yeah, it
Right?
looks fucking
and when
amazing.
she enters her special combat state, her outfit changes too. Okay,
Yeah, I saw
slay.
that.
It looks a lot more
I
suited
really
for
like it.
battle, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. So it seems like travelers can approach combat in 2 ways then. You
Okay.
can use her special combat state to dish out damage with cryo-infused attacks and heighten this damage by absorbing void rifts with her special elemental burst. Or, after other Hydro and Cryo party members have generated void rifts, you can take to the field to quickly absorb them and build up energy to unleash
Yeah,
powerful slashes
okay.
with her normal elemental burst.
Yeah.
Okay,
both
so you can
really,
either
really
be
useful.
full on
And since
field
Cryo and Hydro
or
characters
sub
enhance
DPS
Skirk's
burst.
skills, there are tons of team comp possibilities here.
Oh, definitely.
I suppose so.
Hey,
Probably
speaking
the
of,
on-field
what
is the
about
one
Dahlia?
that'll be
He's
the
a
most
Hydro
damage, though.
character, right? Sounds like he could be a good fit for Skirk.
Oh, I think you're on.
That'd be nice if he was.
We got to know him a bit during the Mondstadt interlude.
A little bit.
So refined, but also kind of mischievous at the same time.
A little bit, I guess.
One thing we haven't seen though is what he can do in combat.
Yeah.
Wanna
I am
give us
curious
a
about
scoop,
that.
Aileen?
Less so than Skirk for obvious reasons, but I am
You
curious.
are in for a treat.
If
Let's
they can work for
go.
Skirk, I'll use them. Yeah, okay, so sword, as we saw before.
This should be fun. Hey,
Interesting, like,
the
skill or
Animal
whatever.
Archon.
Oh, okay, a shield? Hydro shielder? Alright.
Okay, so Dahlia is a Hydro Sword user and support character
Yeah,
who can
okay.
use his elemental burst to provide a
Yeah,
Hydro
so it's the
shield for his
burst that does the
teammates.
shield.
Oh, it's like the shield appears in response to his prayer.
Yes,
Sure.
and for a certain period of time, after unleashing his elemental burst, Dahlia can gain stacks of benison by hitting enemies with normal attacks or triggering freeze reactions.
Okay, so if you
when
have
his
him in a
shield
freeze
breaks,
team...
Dahlia can consume his stacks
Okay.
of benison to summon it again, allowing him to
Oh.
continuously protect his party members.
So if you're
and
on
to
field
increase
of
their
spam
resistance to
attacking or
interruption.
triggering
And
frozen,
after unlocking
the
a
shield will
specific
last
talent,
longer.
Dahlia can also boost the attack
Oh,
speed of the
attack speed
on-field
buff,
character,
nice.
allowing them dish
Really
out
solid
damage
for someone
even
like Skirk,
faster.
who
Oh, nice. So he can help
seems
us
to be
attack without
mainly
interruption
normal
and increase
attacks.
our attack speed. Sounds like a huge help.
And with his elemental skill, Dahlia summons Sacramental Shower and places it in a designated
Oh.
location. His summon has
Mobility.
different effects depending on who comes into contact with it. So, for example, if it's an enemy, Sacramental Shower will explode, dealing
Yeah, okay, so
AoE
it just
hydro
automatically
damage to
explodes if it's on an
surrounding
enemy.
But if a nearby party member comes into contact with it, Sacramental Shower will
Huh.
propel them high into the air, allowing them to evade enemy attacks while gaining an aerial advantage.
Okay. Four-man's
Okay.
plunge
Yeah.
build.
So he's like really reliable in combat, even though he seems kind of mischievous the rest of the time.
No, really.
Yes, he definitely does. He has his little mischievous thing going on. I still remember all his teasing towards Venti during the Mondstadt.
Yeah.
Oh. But at the same time, he's also supposed to be the one who communicates with the will of Barbados, right?
It's called he talks to the drunk bard.
Dynamic.
Well, I guess first and foremost, he's Venti's friend, right?
Yeah, okay.
But even though he likes to tease, he's serious about his position as the Herald of Barbados. Oh, one more thing about his abilities. When Dahlia is in your party, the movement speed of your party members is increased during the day.
Oh.
Hey, all the better to spread the word of Barbados. Praise Barbados, right? Is that how that works?
Sure.
Well, anyway, it's obvious he really cares about the people of Mondstadt.
Yeah.
Exactly. He definitely does. Besides, his mischievous nature keeps things a little bit interesting, don't you think? It's one of my favorite things about him.
Aww. Well, now that we've introduced our 2 new characters for version 5.7, we should probably let travelers know when they can add them to their parties.
Yeah.
Can do.
Presumably
Let's
the first
jump right into
phase.
the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.7,
Oh,
we'll have
Shenhe.
event wishes for Skirk and Shenhe.
Okay.
Dahlia will also enjoy
Very
a
fitting.
drop rate boost on the first half banners.
Makes sense.
Plus the new 5-star sword.
That's what her
Azurite
weapon looks
will be
like.
featured
Okay.
on the weapon
That's
banner.
pretty nice.
Yes. And in the second half of version 5.7,
interesting.
we'll have returning event wishes
Huh.
from Mawika and
I guess it
Emily.
explains why
Pretty
her
fire.
voice actor
All
is
right,
here in
back
the
to
special
the event
program.
wishes. Let's talk about the story content
Yeah.
travelers can look forward to in the new
I need
version.
to know more.
Ooh, okay, this is the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's set the scene. During their travels, the traveler comes across evidence that seems to suggest their sibling was in Natland.
Okay.
I see Dainsleif.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, that means things are about to get complicated.
What?
Yup,
No.
very true.
Oh, I love Dainsleif. From this image, it looks like the sky has been slashed in two. And
Yeah.
there's some kind of rift.
It's
that
literally
connects to
peeling
this.
away with our
And the
siblings'
traveler and their sibling are
hand.
in different spaces, but they can still sense each other's presence.
Yes, I feel like the tension is palpable.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, there was definitely some tension when we saw our sibling during the bedtime story.
Yeah,
quest.
yeah.
Even if we don't
Although
remember it.
we don't know what our sibling has been up to since then.
Hmm.
Kari Bear did tell us that the Loom of Fate has been completed. Of
And looks like it's being
course,
put into
we
action
still
now.
don't know how powerful it is,
Hmm.
or what's needed to activate it.
Well,
Yeah.
call me crazy, but I feel like we're gonna find out soon.
What?
Maybe.
It seems
Crazy.
like all parties are converging in one place, Natland.
Mhm.
Crazy.
So maybe that's where we can get some answers.
Mm-hmm. And I know one thing travelers will encounter in Natland. A young woman dressed
Oh.
in peculiar clothing,
Oh.
hiding out in a cave.
It's not just her clothing that's special, though. Look at her eyes.
Ah,
Wait.
yes.
Is she...
Yeah.
The plot, it thickens.
Yeah.
Well, if the Abyss Order
Conrian,
is out
presumably?
in full force in Natland, it must mean there's been a new development in our siblings' grand
What's a
plan.
random
Yup,
Conrian
and the
doing
Pyro
around,
Archon and
though?
our other friends from Natland are on high alert.
Fair.
But the people of Natland want a war against the Abyss itself. There's no universe where the Abyss Order gets to run wild in Natland unchecked.
Yeah,
Well,
the Abyss
if an
itself
altercation
was
with the
our
Abyss
enemy.
Order is in the
Now
cards,
it's just the Abyss
I know
Order.
who's gonna be on the front lines. Twilight Sword himself,
Hell
of
yeah.
course.
I mean,
What
I
the
can
hell?
see it now. Dainsleif going all one-man army and rushing straight into action.
We
I'd love to see
actually
that.
will get to see it this time.
What-
Because,
yo.
friend Dainsleif is
Yo,
going
we
to help
actually
us
get to, like,
defeat the
use him a little
ranks
bit.
in a manner we've never seen before.
Okay.
This is not a drill, everyone.
Actually
we
in
finally
gameplay.
get to see him in action.
Let's go!
Hell yeah. Even if it's just him walking and then
As
bursting
the Traveler
things.
and Dainsleif venture deep into Abyss
God, are we
Order
just gonna end up
territory,
fighting
we'll
several
get to see
heralds?
his special abilities firsthand.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of obstacles between us and finding out the deal with our sibling.
Mm-hmm.
But we faced the Abyss Order before. We can do this.
Yeah.
I have no doubt travelers will come out on top.
Oh yeah.
I
We can
guess,
only hope.
But the other question is, can we stop whatever our sibling is planning?
That is a very good
What are their
question.
true goals? What does their plan mean for Tavad?
Sounds like
This
some
quest
kind
might
of
hold some
rewriting of
very
time and
important
fate.
answers.
I
Given
am
the Loom of
so
Fate.
excited. I feel like this could be the start of a whole new phase in the quest to
Hmm.
find our sibling.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Seems like it's not as simple as just finding them
What?
anymore. There's a
Crazy.
lot more at stake.
Oh, for sure. So this is definitely one to
What
look
gave you that
forward
idea?
to. All right, I think this is a good place to stop and take our first break.
All right.
I need a sec to digest all that information.
It is a lot.
Sounds good. Take a look at the second redemption code, travelers.
All right. Ooh.
Welcome back, travelers.
Oh,
now
preset
that we've
those.
introduced the
Okay.
new characters and quests, it's time to jump into the version 5.7 event.
Another Sumeru event.
So, first up on the docket is an event that takes us back to Sumeru.
Yeah.
When Academia has developed a simulated adventure game.
Okay.
Travelers will need to select various companion pieces to form teams and enhance their skills as they face off against various opponents in a board game style environment.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Ooh.
You can go the rainforest route or the desert route. Each path has its own story and level of difficulty.
Okay.
And at the end of each adventure, travelers will face formidable opponents that require a certain level of strength to defeat.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so it's this
how do we make sure we're ready?
style where we're
travelers can
using
enhance the
enemies.
strength of their
Okay.
pieces in several ways.
But is it
Besides
on an
enhancing the
actual, like,
pieces
hex
themselves,
grid? Huh.
Travelers might notice that the pieces are divided into species.
Yep.
Go to battle with a lot of
And now we got
pieces of the
Saurians.
same species, and you can trigger unique species
Yeah,
features.
this is similar to
The
events
higher
we've had in the
feature level,
past.
the stronger your pieces become.
Yeah.
I'll be curious how the
I'm
Saurian
thinking
edition alters
an
things, though.
Saurian team could be cool. Oh, and it looks like you can also
items?
assign equipment to your pieces to make them stronger.
Huh.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And random events and encounters will occur during the adventure,
Ooh.
which travelers can resolve to earn helpful rewards, like extra adventure
Is this
points,
essentially
which
like a
travelers can use in the
pseudo-roguelike?
shop to purchase pieces to improve their lineup. Travelers can also open chests to get all kinds of useful equipment. Plus, defeating formidable opponents along the route will allow you to unlock
interesting
secret
map
techniques
diversity.
that can help increase the strength of your entire team.
Ooh. Of course, certain encounters can also derail your plans.
Oh yeah.
Ah, so there are also situations where it all comes down to luck.
Classic,
Yeah,
classic.
So I think travelers will have a lot of fun dealing with the unexpected in this event.
It's a real test of tactical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's more to this event than just the battle stages.
Oh, okay.
Travelers can also participate in research stages that
Oh my
involve
God, it's
guiding
one of these
Paimon to
games.
harvest fruit. Complete these stages to increase your speculation level and unlock additional buffs for your team.
So we actually get to put Paimon to work.
Yo!
Finally.
She's
Yup,
doing something.
And of course, completing this event will reward travelers with all sorts of goodies, including primo gems and the chance to invite Sethos to their parties.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. In this next event, an old friend and
Jumping to
genius
Fontaine.
inventor from Fontaine is back and better than ever with a new and improved turret.
Let me guess, he needs us to clear out monsters in an abandoned ruin again?
Yeah, that's right. But this time, travelers will face more formidable enemies than just slimes.
Okay.
Oh, that Somatril can give shields to its
Ah.
allies.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right,
but don't worry.
okay.
With this new and improved turret, we can use several new kinds of cannonballs to help clear out our opponents.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, a
For
cone?
example, grape shots split into smaller bullets when fired are good for taking out
All right.
multiple enemies at once. And directed piercing shots can be used to take down shields or target enemies
job.
hiding in the corner.
Oh.
Sounds like the type of event where you can really just let loose
All
and relieve some
right.
stress.
Oh, definitely.
Ooh,
But
and
strategic
bouncing.
ammunition choices will help you clear out the battlefield even faster.
So far, we've
Okay.
introduced events you have to tackle solo, but this next event gives travelers the chance to work as a team.
Co-op event?
In
Okay.
Reminiscent Regimen Frenzy, travelers will get to team up with other players to tackle challenges made up of 3 stages,
All
each
right.
with unique objectives.
Ooh, it'll be cool seeing what characters everyone
Poor
chooses.
travelers.
Could make for some interesting team
God, I'm still
goals.
reeling
Well,
from
there's a
seeing
theme
Skirk
associated with
in-game.
each challenge, so your best bet is to choose a character whose skills are suited to the objective.
Oh.
But of
All right.
course, every character has their strengths. Each stage also has smaller objectives
Okay,
that
one of
require
these
teams
events.
to work together and combine their skills. Completing these submissions can grant buffs to your
Oh,
own
the area
entire
closing
team.
in? Okay.
Nice.
And in addition,
God,
at the
they'll-
beginning of each
I'm
challenge,
still not
your
over
team
it.
will be assigned random regiments to complete. Once you make it through the final stage, your team will receive additional frenzy stars based on your regimen completion status.
All right.
Yep, and remember, regiments benefit the entire team. It doesn't matter who
All
completes
right.
them.
Okay, so not saying I need to do this or anything, but in theory, you could kind of coast to the finish line if you needed to.
Yeah. You could.
Okay.
In theory. But I think
Yeah, let's just let the
travelers
whales
have
carry
something
us.
to contribute.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's about how you work together. That's the joy of co-op.
I feel like co-op is its own kind of motivation, too. No one wants to let the team down.
Sure.
Sure. And this time, teamwork is more important than ever. Because in this iteration of the event, dire difficulty is even more challenging.
Okay.
Ooh, that
Always
means
like a
whether
good
it comes to
actual
character
challenge.
selection or combat strategy, coordination is more important than ever.
Mm-hmm. Good luck, travelers. Should be a fun one.
All right, what else we
Alright,
got?
Now I'm very excited to announce a new
Permanent challenge
event called
event.
Stygian Onslaught.
Oh.
In this event, travelers will be able to farm artifacts more freely
Oh.
and efficiently, as well as obtain artifact customization items for free.
For free.
Okay.
For free.
A
Artifact
new
farming?
permanent event. Okay, we need details now.
Yeah.
Each update will feature a challenge that is split into 3 phases,
Huh.
each featuring unique mechanics with 5 difficulty levels to choose from.
Ooh.
All
Participation
right.
in the event will reward travelers with primo gems, artifacts, and valuable items for targeted artifact enhancement.
Targeted
Okay,
enhancement.
so you said we'll be
Okay.
able to farm artifacts more freely? What does
Okay,
that
we
mean
can just
exactly?
pick what
It means
set we want to
the
farm.
artifact drops aren't set in stone, and you can switch where they come from.
Nice.
For the first 10 days after the event begins, the leyline disturbance will be in outbreak state.
Mm.
During this period, travelers who clear any stage at level 3 difficulty or higher can expend any kind of resin to obtain artifacts from the leyline blossom at the end of the stage.
Okay.
And before the stage begins, travelers will get to choose which domain of blessing they want the artifact drops to
That's
come from.
nice.
Right. So travelers can also tackle the stages in co-op, right? So you can still
Oh.
farm with
Permanent
friends.
Yes.
co-op event?
And you'll be rewarded with additional artifacts
Okay.
every time you consume a certain amount of resin.
Okay,
Nice.
the amount of hours I'm about to pour into this thing. Lock me in
Interesting
and
that you
throw
can
away
do
the key,
straight
honestly.
to fragile.
Oh my god, you make it sound like you're in prison. Anyway, you also mentioned something about targeted
That's what I'm most
artifact
curious about.
enhancement, Katiana. What's that about?
Yeah, right. So, version 5.7 is introducing a new artifact-related item, Dust of Enlightenment.
Okay.
Ooh. What is it?
Well, we all know what it's like to raise an artifact that has potential, only for it to turn out kind of less than ideal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this item
Getting a lot
is
of that
designed to
when
help with that.
pre-farming for Skirk.
So, Artifact 101, right? We all know every 4 levels, a random substat gets enhanced as you raise an artifact to level 20.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it doesn't always turn out the way you want.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
this
we're
item
altering
allows you
the
to re-roll
placement
the
of
substat
enhancements?
of a level 20 artifact.
Yo.
Nice.
wait,
Okay, so
really?
it's just a
Yeah.
reroll.
Before each reroll, you get to specify the types of substats you want to prioritize.
Okay.
After the result is revealed, you can choose to either keep the
Nice.
original substat configuration or accept the new one.
Oh my god,
Okay.
it's like being able to resurrect an artifact from the grave. Like,
All right,
we
so
really
it's not
needed this.
guaranteed, but it is
Yeah, really
prioritized.
powerful, right? Starting in
Okay.
5.7, travelers who participate in the new permanent event Stygian Onslaught will be able to obtain a total of 3 Dusts
Oh,
of Enlightenment
3
per
per
version for
version.
free.
That's
And
pretty
the Gnostic
good.
Hymn and Gnostic Chorus rewards will feature 1 each.
All right.
Plus, during version 5.7, travelers will be able to claim 2 Dusts of Enlightenment directly from their in-game
Nice,
mailbox
just to
after
start us
logging
off.
into Genshin Impact.
God, that's gonna make farming
Yes.
so much
Okay,
nicer.
Let's just pause to take that
Oh
in
my
for a sec.
god.
Oh, but I do have a question. So, according to the devs, the rewards for clearing the level 5 difficulty in the new permanent event can only be obtained by completing it solo.
Okay, no co-op for
But
the ultimate
what
mode.
if that level of difficulty is a bit much for some people?
yeah, like me.
Yeah, well, don't worry, I'll hard carry you.
Whoa.
Well, I will come in, and the strongest travelers into that will come in to help us out. Specifically, we're talking about travelers who have cleared an even higher level of difficulty.
Oh.
The characters used to complete those battles become exalted ones.
Huh.
Then, when attempting a level 1 through 5 difficulty challenge, other travelers can receive extra buffs by including exalted ones in their lineup.
Okay.
Oh, cool. So travelers can help each other.
So we
even
just
outside
benefit
of
from the most
co-op.
powerful people?
I like that, and I need that. Wait, hold on. You mentioned an even
Yeah,
higher
a
level
level
of
6
difficulty. just
difficulty?
now. I thought level 5 was the highest.
Yeah, well, clearing level 5 solo unlocks a secret
Ah.
level of difficulty. Level 6. dire difficulty.
Is there any reward to it?
No.
Once you reach level 6, it's dire straits. There are no companions to turn to for comfort.
Yeah, just all
no
yourself,
promise
I
of
imagine.
gems to drive you forward. What? Just formidable enemies.
That's cool.
And an
I like that.
unrelenting desire to prove yourself.
Just a challenge for the people who want it, and the people who dare to do it and win
So you're telling
benefit
me
everyone else.
really
That's
don't
cool.
Get anything in return for accomplishing something like that?
Well,
Oh,
we'll just have
is there
to
an
wait
actual
and see
reward,
now, won't
even if
we?
it's not Primos?
I can't wait.
All right, that's it for Stygian Onslaught.
Okay.
Just a reminder, the outbreak period begins the second Wednesday after a version update.
Okay.
Or 8 days into the new version.
All right,
so
so it's not
don't forget to
immediate.
gather your friends and get farming when the time comes. All right, time to lock in. Travelers
Oh,
might
more Traveler's
also be excited
Tales.
to hear that the next installment of the Traveler's
That's
Tales
cool.
is coming in
I
version
enjoyed those.
5.7.
Okay, Slay. Last time was so much fun. We got to reunite with so many old friends and make a lot of great new memories.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look at some of the encounters in store for us this time around?
All right.
Whoa,
Kaya and
hang on
Toma.
a sec. So Toma's back in Mondstadt?
That's
and He's
interesting.
drinking with Kaya at the Angel's Share?
Huh. I never thought about it before, but now that I see it, yeah, I feel like they totally make great drinking buddies.
Probably.
Oh, I love him.
Oh, the Melazines.
Looks like he's got quite the posse around him.
Oh, it's so cute.
We really don't
I
get
know
enough
what
of
you're talking about.
Nuvalet with the
And it
Melazines.
looks like Dory's in Inazuma. Is she trying to sell something to Sayu?
Oh
Of
no.
course.
Oh no, someone save Sayu. She's too innocent for Dory's schemes.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, a crafty merchant like Dory could show up anywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I
especially
bet
with
we
her
even Run
connections.
into her and Nod-Krai at some point.
Foreshadowing?
Ooh, I wonder how many other friends will show
Foreshadowing?
up this time.
From what I've heard, it's quite a few.
Yes.
So keep a lookout while exploring the open world, travelers.
Ooh.
Being able to run into characters in the open world is such a nice addition.
Yeah, it's really
I wish it was
fucking
part of
nice.
every version.
Right? I know. It really makes the open world feel more alive and interactive.
That's what the entire
Yeah,
community
and
has been
luckily
saying.
The devs feel the same way. The devs have said that making Traveler's Tales a permanent event is in the works.
Okay.
So travelers can look forward to that sometime in the future.
Nice.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Finally, Overflowing Abundance is returning at the end of version
Cool.
5.7.
Always
Travelers can
nice.
look forward to double the talent and
Oh.
weapon ascension material drops.
Have they really
So
just
don't miss out.
reformatted that in
In
general?
addition, new Envisaged
Okay.
Echoes challenges will be added in version
That's a nice
5.7.
Oh, for the Raiden Shogun in Shenhe.
Oh,
Okay.
Shenhe's Echo is so cool. I see sigils and pops of red in there. Okay,
Yeah, the
girl,
little bit of
very
red is nice.
fitting.
And the Raiden Shoguns like petals floating in the wind. The purple matches so well.
So pretty.
Yep. So if you want to claim them, make sure your
Will do.
characters are ready. Travelers can also look forward to some genius invocation
Of course.
TCG updates, including
Always
new
gotta have the
character
card game
and
ready.
action cards. You can now add Mawika and Sweet Lolly and Chaska to your decks.
Don't miss out, Genius Invocation fans. All right,
I really
that
should do
brings
more
us
of
to the
that.
system optimizations that travelers
All right,
can look forward to
optimization
in
time.
the new version.
First up is an improved resource management feature
Oh.
for mobile players.
Oh.
Simply put, it's a practical update designed to reduce the package size of
And
the
are we gonna
mobile
get that for
version.
the
Dude,
fucking
nice.
PC
I feel
version?
Like our phones will thank us.
Mhm. After the 5.7 update, travelers will receive a pop-up notification after opening Genshin Impact on mobile, asking them to choose from different resource plans.
Okay.
Okay.
About
Under the
a
basic
12
plan,
gig difference.
The system will retain the necessary resources for daily gameplay and optimize the resource usage for some Archon quests, story quests, and
Okay.
hangout events.
Okay, so that means clearing out some old quest resources to save storage space, right?
Makes sense.
But what about players whose progress is a bit all over the place? How does that work?
Don't worry, the dev team has accounted for that.
All
The
right.
system will provide different guidance and solutions based on account progress and quest status
All right.
to ensure that travelers still have a smooth gaming experience. And when you need to start an Archon quest, story quest, or hangout
You
event
can
that
just
isn't
download it
enabled,
directly.
the system will download the
Okay.
required resources as needed.
Oh, Slay.
Yup. So travelers who haven't
She really
updated
loves
the
saying
mobile
that.
version in a long time might be able to free up quite a bit of storage space with this optimization.
Yeah.
I need that.
And it sounds like a great option for cross-platform players who maybe rely on mobile more for the small stuff.
Yeah,
very much so.
Of course, if you don't have storage concerns, nothing has to change. You can just choose to keep all game resources instead. And this setting can be changed at any time in the Paimon menu, where you can choose for completed quest resources to be automatically cleared in future version updates.
Okay.
Or for all game resources to be updated as normal.
Oh, okay.
This should also make it easier for people to try out Genshin Impact for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll
For
be a
further
much
details,
smaller thing.
Be sure to check out the developers discussion as well as future announcements across Genshin Impact's official accounts.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And you will now be able to directly use Fragile
Yeah, I was
Resin to
noticing that
claim
before.
rewards from Leyline Blossoms and common
That's
challenge
just
domains,
convenient
like
and
artifact and
efficient.
talent material domains. This also applies to the artifact drops in the new permanent event
Yeah.
we introduced earlier.
Yes.
Fragile resin is worth 60 original resin.
So it's 3.
that means you get triple the drops. Should save a few trips to the crafting bench, that's
God.
for sure.
Also,
Gonna
the
actually start
Adventurer
using
Handbook
those.
will now have guide entries for 40 resin bosses,
Oh.
which should be helpful if you run into a boss you're not quite sure how to crack.
And the icons will be displayed in the order the bosses were unlocked, which should make it more
Okay.
intuitive to navigate.
All right, let's move on to some optimizations for the Spiral Abyss.
Oh, Spiral
When
Abyss.
moving to the next floor or restarting a challenge, you can now save your current party lineup or clear it with a single click.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
easy.
And you can claim your challenge rewards directly after completing floor 12.
Oh, that's so
If you're
convenient.
not satisfied with your performance, you can also restart the challenge directly from the finalization screen.
These are all so nice.
Small things here
That's
and
so
there
fucking
really add up
nice.
over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully these optimizations make for a better experience overall.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was another long one, you guys, but it's not over yet.
Oh?
A mystery guest left a
Do we
message
get some
for us.
Nod-Krai?
So let's check it out along with the third redemption
I'd love
code.
for some Nod-Krai.
旅人の皆さん、
Oh.
こんにちは、鈴木愛理です。
Okay, what's
今回
this?
ゲーム原神の皆さんと一緒にお仕事をすることになりました。とても嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。私は、スカークというキャラクターのアニメショートテーマソングの
Animated Short Star
オ
Odyssey.
デッセイという楽曲を歌わせていただいたんです
There's a
が、こ
song.
の楽曲は全編英語で
Oh, in
世界
English.
各国というか世界にこう届ける歌ということで、もうすべて英
It
語
is one of the more
にしないので
universal languages
私に
after
とって
all.
はこの世界に入って初めての経験でとてもドキドキしたのですがこう皆さんと一緒に気持ちを共有できたらいいなと思って今からとてもワクワクしています、
Okay.
スカークの歴史を聞いてすごく強いけど孤独と戦いながら今日まで生きてきた
That
そんな
is the
強くて
vibe.
かっこいい女性っていうのを頭に置きながら歌を歌いましたので
I'm very
その
curious
気
to
持ち
learn
が
more.
届くと嬉しいです。この楽曲はショートフィルムと同時公開されます。
I didn't know she was getting an
ぜひ
animated
楽しみにしていてください。
Yo! That is so fucking
An
excited.
animated short
Oh
for
my
Skirk
God.
and a song. Let's go!
Yeah.
So
That's
We're winning.
exciting. Well, you guys, that brings us to the end of our
Okay,
announcements for this
okay.
version. That was a
Oh,
whirlwind.
that's a great way to
It certainly
sort of bring it
was.
to the end.
So-
Oh my god.
What are you all looking forward to the most? For me, I
Skirk.
have to say, although it's a little biased, I am clearly excited for everybody to meet Dahlia.
Yes.
But you know, I'm also really excited about the new permanent content.
Yeah, that is
like,
actually pretty
Stygian
exciting as well.
Onslaught. How about you guys?
It's kind of hard to pick just one. I mean, I'm excited for my girl Malika
Of
in
course.
TCG, but like, I'm also really excited to see Navilet, my fave, in the Traveler's Tales.
Yes. Well, I'm really excited.
This seems like a
for-
really
I
fucking
might
stacked
be a little
version.
biased as well. I'm really excited for Skirk.
Who?
As we all are.
I am also so excited for Dahlia, and like we've been waiting so long for these characters, and also Dane's Lip. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. And that
Good to always see him.
animated short. Oh my gosh! And also, of course, the lore girlies. We are eating so well this patch.
Yeah,
I'm so excited
yeah.
for that twins quest.
Yes, I feel like it's clear from the last few patches that the story has really been amping up lately, and this version seems to be no exception.
Truly.
Yeah, right? I mean,
If it has
soon
anything
we're
of the
5th
quality
year
of
adventuring.
Carrilage's realism, I'm gonna be so fucking hyped.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it feels like we're really getting to see how a lot of elements that seemed separate at first are starting to converge.
It's almost as if we're in the back
And
half
after
of
what
the
we
story.
saw on the dev team's Nod-Krai teaser, I'm even more excited to see how the story unfolds from here.
Right? And we hope travelers have fun doing the same.
Okay, so that's it for the Genshin Impact version 5.7 special program. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for tuning in, everybody.
Ad Astra,
Very,
travelers,
very
and
hype.
happy adventuring!
Can I get 5 big booms?
What?
Boom, boom, boom,
How is that here?
boom.
Why?
Oh, wait a second. It looks like another friend
Oh?
from afar is rushing over to share some interesting news.
What? What's this? Nod-Krai? Ooh. The moon?
Nod-Krai.
Yeah.
An ever-changing landscape of ruin.
Okay.
A marvel corroded by time.
Ooh.
In the forest.
Ah,
where
the Wild
nights
Hunt.
were once undisturbed save for a few rays
I
of
love the
moonlight,
look of the Wild Hunt.
Hunt's shadow grows. There are those who bear the name of Frost Moon, living where the silver light
Yeah,
shines.
okay, just showing off all of the groups.
Others carry the torch, fending off the darkness and cold with their blades.
I have fucking chills. I love
I
Nod-Krai.
hear that the Stolen Fae still yearn for the frosts of old.
I'm loving this song.
Fatui look to the stars above.
It's got the theme. Yo, the Fatui! New Fatui! The Torah!
Then there are the nights, draped in the west wind, nearing the end of a long and
Varga!
arduous mission. My friends, of course, shouldn't
Alice?
be outdone.
Is that
They will
Alice?
no
Is
doubt
that
bring a
Alice?
magical
Is
charm
that
to
Alice?
this edge of the world. And just as the stone craves the sculptor's hand, so does fate await your gaze.
Oh my fucking god.
Pour me another cup of tea,
Oh?
if you'd be so kind.
What is that?
The
Is that like a
story
Sealy of some
is
sort?
about to begin.
Oh my god, and we actually got the model of that thing? Okay. Oh, and then we just have the calendar. We stay winning. Skirk looks awesome. Nod-Krai looks awesome. The main story with the twin and Dainsleif looks awesome. The new permanent mode looks cool. We got plenty of events on top of that. This is a stacked version. I am so fucking excited for this now. I already was, but even more. But to reel myself back in, get a bit more composed, and talk about some things for a moment, I'm not going to go truly line by line here through the trailer or anything, but I do want to touch on a few things. Because there's some very key information that is fucking insane, that we don't get much about, but the fact that it's mentioned is wild. First off, we know from this that the Loom of Fate has been finished and it is ready to be used, or at the very least ready to be set in motion. The next big thing is mention of a spaceship, more specifically the one we used to get to Teyvat. I always assumed that it was just like our flying wing capability that let us traverse worlds, not that we had a spaceship, but I guess we're going to be learning something about that, which is just wild to think about. Looking at this device, it sort of speaks to me as a device that is to like activate the ship or call it to us or something like that. Some kind of key or remote device. Then we have this interesting line about ignoring her existence and no longer being able to hear her voice, with her not being exactly clear. Because realistically, it could be a lot of people. It could be our sibling, because usually for these, they have it in the logic of Aether is the character and the Abyss twin is Lumine. It maybe could be Skirk in some weird way. It also could be plenty of other characters, like if we're still dealing with Renova stuff, it could be Renova. It could be the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles. It could be someone from the Hexen Circle. There's a lot of people this could be, and given so many things have been relevant, will be relevant, and are relevant in this version, it's hard to say exactly. And it's hard to say if this is in the main story or Skirk's quest or something like that. But then from Skirk, we get the line saying that part of your soul is damaged. It could be talking about us, and that could be the reason that we're getting her help, but it is equally possible that this is just talking about some random person that we end up helping. Either way though, soul damage is an interesting thing, especially with it being due to abyssal corrosion, because we've run into similar things in the past, But perhaps with Skirk's knowledge of the Abyss, we might actually be able to do something about that. And if we are, that would hold very interesting implications for some other characters that we've met prior. We then also just get this brief shot that we learn a little bit more about later, but it's of Skirk with a guitar or something like that. And it makes me think, based on everything else we learned, that music and this instrument will be something deeply important to her, probably something related to her past, and in all likelihood, it'll be tied into the fact that her animated short involves a song. Whether it is truly diegetic or not, the song will probably have a lot of meaning to Skirk as a person. That in itself isn't anything crazy to say. They're gonna make some promotional material mean something to the character it's promoting, but I find it particularly interesting given that there seems to be a musical element related to her now. So I'll be curious to see how that is integrated into everything. But then as we approach the end of the trailer, we have a moment where it's us and the presumably Conrian girl that we seem to run into in this story, as we have a line from our sibling saying, "I know you always want to change fate, but this time I won't let you succeed." It's an interesting line, because in this context, she's the one with the Loom of Fate. Our twin is the one with the Loom of Fate, the thing that presumably can mess with time and fate. But it perhaps could be calling back to the fact that in the Natlan story, just prior to this, we were effectively trying to defy fate in a variety of ways. And similarly, we did that in Fontaine, even if we were more of an observer in that case. So it could just be as simple as calling out the fact a lot of the story has been about defying fate so far, but I understand that as your twin, and I won't let you do it again. I will not let you get in the way of my plans. It's probably just as simple as that. And then we get this sort of interesting moment with Skirk, where all these rifts are opening up with these weapons coming out of them, and we have these glowing eyes in the rift of their own, and a mysterious voice is speaking, saying, "Good, Skirk, once again you survived." I imagine this might be Sirtology. This very well might be some kind of test for Skirk. I imagine Sirtology is not the kindest of masters, seeing as they are one of the sinners. It is entirely possible that Skirk's training under them is something particularly brutal that she has only survived out of a mix of sheer luck and just pure talent. But it seems that at one point in the story, at the very least, the Loom of Fate is activated and it is working, it is doing whatever it is intended to do, and presumably we need to try to stop it. But then we jump back to Skirk stuff, and there's this interesting moment where she questions, how did you get the power of the all-devouring narwhal? Which makes me think, based on these being the visuals matching the line, that maybe that wasn't Sirtology speaking before, and it's just someone else who is aware of Skirk, who has somehow taken the power of the all-devouring narwhal for themselves. Which obviously, in-game, just functions as a way to have a big boss fight at the end of her story quest, presumably, while just using the one phase of the narwhal fight, presumably. Either way, though, it looks really cool, and I'll be curious to see what entity is capable of taking that power. And then, right at the very end, we get what I think is the most important line from this trailer. "I cannot miss the chance to reunite with you 500 years in the past, no matter what." This is our sibling speaking to us, and it seems like perhaps their goal is to rewind fate and time so that maybe we can just escape and leave Tivat before any of this happened, so that our reunion can happen 500 years ago before any of this went wrong. Either way, it seems like our sibling is doing this for a much more personal reason than we ever really could have realized. It's entirely possible they have more so just been using the Abyss Order to be able to achieve this goal. Now, of course, it does seem like they legitimately care about the Conrians and the Abyss Order's people, so it very well might be that they're wanting to rewind time not just for us to actually escape or anything, but for us to be able to stop the fall of Conria itself. I could see that. I think that is entirely possible. Rewrite fate so that the gods and Celestia never destroy Conria, or at the very least, so that we can stop them. Perhaps it's a way of rewinding time, but with us keeping all of our power and knowledge, so that we actually can stand toe-to-toe with all of the gods. Something like that, maybe? Either way, I think this line is what we really want to keep an eye on when we go into the story. See how things may come back to this, and what exactly our sibling is attempting to do. And immediately after we have the line, we will return to the real universe one day. Perhaps we finally are learning more about what is beyond the fake sky, and learning more about how Teyvat is closed off from the rest of the universe. I very well could see that. It very well may be that this version brings everything to the forefront and truly explicitly says, Teyvat is in a closed shell and it cannot escape until we shatter that dome. The false sky must fall for us to reunite with the real universe. That very well may be the case. But as the device our sibling has in their hand seems to activate and unleash this burst of energy, we have the line, "We will begin anew at the end of your journey." It's a reassurance of, you must finish your journey. Do not get in my way. My plans must not be stopped, but your journey must finish. You must complete your journey, and then we will begin anew. It is vaguely contradictory on a surface level with the previous line about reuniting 500 years ago. But what if what is going on involves our sibling going back in time and leaving us to finish our journey, where we can only then reunite with them properly once we've finished our journey and achieved something along the way? I'm not entirely sure, but once again, it's interesting in contrast with that line. But that's where the trailer ends, at which point the only thing I really want to touch on is the Nod-Krai stuff. I'm really just gonna geek out here. First off, we have Dotori explicitly shown he is gonna be the guy. We haven't had him for a while, and I'm eager to see more. And the line about the Fatui looking to the stars above, trying in vain to seize the false firmament, is really interesting to me. It almost certainly ties into that stuff about the real universe and breaking beyond the false sky. But how exactly they're trying to do that will be interesting to learn, and given the fact that whoever is speaking is saying that it's in vain is interesting to me. But then we have the Knights of Favonius. Once again, we get a glimpse of Varka. We had the one before, but now we get another. Still not clearly showing his face or anything, but we get this back view of him, so we can get a general vibe of what his outfit might look like, which is interesting. I'm curious to see more of him. And it seems this will be where the expedition ends. Nod-Krai will be the conclusion to the expedition. And I'll be curious to see if we get any other Favonius characters in Nod-Krai, because none of them really stand out as explicit other characters here, but I feel like it would be very easy for us to get a few more characters. And then we get what quite likely is Alice in the flesh. Her design is so similar to Klee, but not quite the same. It looks great. I want to see more of it. But it's also here where we get a little bit of context of who's talking. It seems like the person talking is either a member of the Hexen Circle or someone who is an ally of the Hexen Circle, because the voice does not sound like Alice, so it's presumably someone else. But it very well may be another Hexen Circle member. But other than that, I'm just generally so fucking hyped for this version. There's so much for us to learn, so much to happen, and Skirk is almost here. So with that, feel free to like and subscribe, leave a comment on your thoughts, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye!